Hey y'all, listen. I want y'all to listen to this duet I did, okay? And then I want to come back and share with you a response, my response to one of the comments to this video, okay? So let's check it out.
There's a civil war going on right now between old heads and young heads. We all see it. We see it every day. Some people might say, well, it's always been that way. Not like now. Young people of back in the day would buck authority, you know what I'm saying? But now it's a little bit different. I'm about to explain to you why. Now, it might be oversimplifying it a little bit, but basically, if you calm yourself and listen and think about what I'm saying, it basically comes out of this. It is this simple. Generation X and previous generation have always utilized SOPs. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you do a recipe for macaroni and cheese or how to build a space shuttle. Everything around what we do, dating, raising children, it's a SOP. It's a standard operating procedure. We've all adhered to those. That's just what it is. These are handed down. These are the way you do things. Society has 5 expectations of us. In previous videos, I've talked about the things that society rewards. These are the things that society expects of us. They're woven into the fabric of what it is to be a civilized society. One, you have goals. There are goals that have to be met to improve your quality of life or for anything. It needs to be personal goals, professional goals, whatever. Or you have to reach a goal, have to reach certain benchmarks. Second, there's structure. You have to operate within a structure to reach those goals. And usually that structure is not hard to adhere to because it's the same thing that the person did before, so on and so forth. Now, you also have boundaries. You have boundaries set up. Those boundaries are in the form of rules and laws and guidelines, those type of things, right? And then you have consequences. So if you ignore those boundaries, if you ignore those rules, then there's consequences. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, there's time. Stuff must be done. Society has an expectation of time. Young people in the past have had problems with certain aspects of these 5. Maybe have a problem with one or two things. I don't like being held somebody else's time period. Or why is the structure like that? We shouldn't have to do it like that. But no. Young people today don't want none of it. They reject everything about it. And this is what society is. So you reject the goal, you reject the structure, you reject the boundary, you reject the consequence, and you reject the time. And you wonder why old heads is mad. But it is because if we allow people to ignore these 5 things, then what is society? What are we, the Wild Wild West? What is society? So, and I'm not saying that who right, who wrong, what I'm saying? Obviously, you know what side I fall on, but I'm just stating what it is. That's what it is. If you want to know why old heads are so bitter, it's because every SOP that we've learned, that we know benefits us, we put it into practice. We see it done. We know what it does, is being ignored. You don't want to deal with no goals. Okay, well then who gonna achieve the goals? If you reject all the goals, who gonna achieve the goals? Who you passing stuff on to? You don't want to deal with no structure. Well, if you don't deal with no structure, then we got anarchy. If you don't want to deal with no boundaries, we definitely got anarchy. You don't want to deal with no consequences, no accountability, then we have anarchy. And if you want to do in your own time, but that don't work. That does not work. So now you pretty much got a standoff between the young and the old. Young people like that, burn to the ground. Old people like no, the hell you won't. So I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna end, but that's my explanation of it.
Hey y'all, hey. Thank you for this comment. Interestingly enough, this is a comment in response to the video, the duet I did with the comedian Marvin Hunter. So, I find as I'm looking through some of those rebuttals that have a similar tone to them, such as this, the problem is with older generations, and I'm the middle child in the equation, but old heads live in a world that doesn't exist anymore. A quickening has taken place. So when you talk about a world that doesn't exist anymore, are you talking about as it relates to technology? If that is in fact the case, we know that. If that is in fact the case, we too we lived in a time that certain advances that were available to us were not available to the preceding generations. We are aware of that. But what remained was a work ethic. What remained was respect of elders, what remained was understanding that no one was going to give us anything. What remained is that we understood that no one owed us anything, and everything we had, we had to work for it. See, the challenge is you all want what we have, but you don't have to work. You don't want to work to get it the way we got it. You want it yesterday because you all lack no patience. What we did, which is largely our fault, we can take account of that because of the things that we had to do to struggle, which built character nonetheless, which built perseverance, which built resilience. We sheltered you all from that because we didn't think we wanted it to be better for y'all. But what we failed to realize, we were making you weak. We were making you lazy. We were making you sensitive. We were making you entitled. That is why many of you are unable to handle constructive redirection. That is why many of you cannot control your emotions. That is why many of you are unable to have healthy interactions with people. Okay? That is why many of you, because you don't want to adapt to structure and the consequences, that's why many of you are raising children just like that, who are going to be very selfish and are not going to give a damn about you. Okay? The chickens are coming home to roost. Okay? And because of that, many of you cannot handle the vicissitudes of life. Thus, you are taking your lives a lot quicker than we are. Because many of you are younger than us, but look older than us. Many of you have resources available to you, like mental health resources, yet you are worse off. So when we talk about the structure, the consequences of time, we're not talking merely tangible things. We're talking about the core values: family, discipline, structure, work ethic, respect. That's what we're talking about. And I even am disappointed to see that there was somebody in who looks like she could be my age. Now, if she's younger, that goes exactly to what I was talking about, because she looked my age. So there are many, again, as I was saying, there are many who say that we have to roll with it or get left behind. We know that. But see, you all are only talking about technology stuff. Your comprehension and critical thinking are lacking because your attention spans are so finite. You miss points. And when you talk about a world that doesn't exist, you are absolutely right. Because see, the world that we existed in was one of literacy. That was one of excellence. So you're absolutely right. A quickening has taken place, but it doesn't mean it's better. And quite frankly, for all the advances that have been made, we have gone in the opposite direction, which is evident by the fruit that you all yield on a daily. You cannot handle things in the workplace. It's always somebody else's fault. Take no responsibility for anything. So, and it's interesting too, because again, some of you skipped right past that. He said, if you just sit down and listen, what he said is really that simple. And all the things he spoke on, none of those things were tangible. They could be applied to situations that, there are tangible results. That's why y'all are called the microwave generation. So I don't disagree that the world is different. It don't mean it's better though. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.